Hey Divas! Welcome to season 2. What it do, baby? Yes, officially season 2. I'm super excited. I have so much to catch you guys up on, and we're gonna get to that later because this month, in case you didn't know, we're minding our Black-owned business because it is Black-owned business month. So all month long, hopefully, God willing, we will have a Black-owned business, Black entrepreneur on this show to kind of share their story and their journey, and honestly, more ways that you can invest in that Black dollar. So I am super excited to introduce our first guest of season 2 of Black-owned business month. Okay, he's an engineer turned entrepreneur whose passion and purpose is to turn experiences into movements, and now there's an app for that. Everybody, please welcome Kahlil Martin. Kahlil,
how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm blessed.
I'm so excited to have you.
Yeah, first I want to say thank you so much for having me on this podcast.
No, thank
Super
you, because having you reach out to me, I keep having to be reminded, like, okay, I have a podcast. And so I really appreciate people who I meet, who I run into, and they're like, when's the next episode? Or like, hey, I would love to come on. So I just appreciate you for even thinking of me.
Of course. I think you're doing something phenomenal.
Thank you. Okay, so we are actually going to launch a new segment here on Society Says. This is just a way for you guys to get to know our guest a little bit better, because we all know that Society says first impressions matter. So without further ado, this is First Impressions. These are just like little fun rapid fire questions that I care about. So we're gonna get into it, and hopefully you guys can get to know Kahlil a little bit better. So first question, Kahlil, what is your zodiac sign?
My birthday is October 1st.
I already know you're a Libra.
Yeah.
So I just had to ask, but I already know Kahlil because he is my college friend. I can tell you're probably not into astrology, but I see Libra a lot in Kahlab. When in regards to the marketing, the social media, you are really into like the little details and like creating an aesthetic and a vibe and curating the vibe. So I can definitely see that Libra in you, but we all know Libras be lying too. But we're gonna move on from that. Okay, so favorite song or album right now?
There's a new Blast album. I can't remember the name of it.
Really? There's a new one?
Yeah, it just came out. One of my favorite songs right now is, I think it's Is It Too Much or something like that by Blast.
Okay, I love Blast. Okay, so while we were getting set up, you said that you are more into reading than watching TV or movies. So what are you reading right now?
So there's this book by David Stewart. It's called Doing Business by the Good Book. He's like the richest African American in the world. He's like,
really?
Or in the U.S. He's a billionaire.
So you're learning a lot.
10 out of 10 recommend.
Okay, I'm reading Beach Read right now. It's a fiction book. It's really good. I was hoping to have it done by August, but we're pushing through it. Okay, next question, morning or night person?
Ooh, that's a good question, because I try my best to be a morning person, but I be up at night.
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
I'm a night owl for sure, but I really want to get into like working out before work. But that requires me to wake up at like 5 a.m.
But then that requires you to go to sleep early.
Like, I feel like I'm missing out on so much. Like, I need to get out of that mindset. Okay, last question in First Impressions. This is more of a trending topic. Rhinestones or no rhinestones, Kahlil?
We're not wearing no bedazzled outfits.
Thank you. See, give this man a podcast mic.
Thanks. We're not doing the bedazzled.
There is an epidemic of rhinestones on men's clothing, and we need to make it stop. Okay, so now we're gonna get into society. This is just like things that are going on in pop culture, social media, and we're gonna talk a little bit about it. So the first thing that we're gonna be talking about, I don't know if Kahlil knows too much about this, so I'm gonna provide a little bit of context, okay? So there is this influencer, right, on TikTok. She is really big on advocating for plus size inclusivity, and she made a video recently, and it was about the Cheesecake Factory menu being fat phobic, because there's a section of the cheesecake menu that is called the Skinnylicious menu. So of course it created a lot of discourse. Some people think like Skinnylicious is not fat phobic. They say like, what about skinny margs? What about, skinny jeans? Like, are all those things considered fat phobic? Other people agree with her that like it's the narrative that like skinny doesn't always mean healthy. I felt like it was kind of a bit of a stretch, I'm gonna be honest, but just because of some of the things, like she's also the creator who like said that parking meters are fat phobic, and I was just like, oh my god, we have so much else in the world right now, in this country specifically, going on. Like, this is not like a first world problem. But then when she kept making videos, I kind of understood where she was coming from, where she's basically saying that being skinny does not equate to being healthy. But then I commented that, like, I was just being like, hey, I get what you mean, but I felt like she was kind of going on a lot of tangents. Like, she was coming across manic a little bit. And I basically, all I said was, hey, I feel like, you know, the people that are committed to misunderstanding your point are never gonna like agree with you. So like, maybe you should like not make as many videos trying to force these people to understand. And she blocked me.
Oh my goodness.
So do you think that the menu section of Cheesecake Factory is skinny delicious? Do you think it's fat phobic?
I don't. I can kind of see where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, growing up, like skinny Mars, skinny,
Yes,
like, that was a thing.
yeah.
So
I think it just means fewer calories.
Yeah.
But anywho, now she's beefing with Cardi B again and Old Navy. So we're gonna see where that turns out. Do you guys think that the Skinnylicious section of a Cheesecake Factory is fat phobic? Let us know in the comments section down below. All right, so the next trending topic, this one's a little bit older, but this is our first time back on Society Says, so we're still going to talk about it. LeBron James finally made his announcement that he is going to the Sixers. Honestly, kind of shocking. I feel like we all know that he is going to retire wherever he ends up at, but I didn't expect it to be the Sixers. I thought maybe he'd go back to Ohio.
Not at all. You know, I thought he was gonna go. If he was gonna go anywhere, I thought he was gonna go to Cleveland or Miami.
Yes, yeah.
I could see like, okay, cool. These are two teams that you built a legacy there, so it's like it makes sense to like you're about to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Sixers was, I wasn't expecting that.
Confusing. So, maybe explain it to the people like me who aren't as engulfed into the NBA life. Why do you think, or what's been the chatter on maybe why he chose the Sixers?
You know, to be honest, I think it's all about, you know, chasing like winning a championship. Because at the end of the day, you're in the NBA, you want to win championships.
Yeah.
And the Sixers team that they put together is a really good team.
They are
like,
a good team.
From like having superstars, then they're like four like people that are like really, really good. So joining a team that he doesn't necessarily have to be the go-to person every single play.
Yeah.
At his age, probably is phenomenal.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just, you know, either way, whether you're for it or against it, I think we can all respect that LeBron is all about a pivot when he feels like it is necessary for him to continue his success. And that kind of brings us into a little bit about Kahlil's story and the power of the pivot and finding your alignment to your purpose, whether that means walking away from what you might have thought was like your purpose and your dream to figuring out what is next for you. So let's go ahead and get into it. So, Kahlil, you started off, you know, going to Oklahoma State University. You went and got your degree in engineering. What realm of engineering again?
Mechanical.
Mechanical engineering. So, man with brains, ladies. All right. So, was engineering a passion for you, or was it a financial decision?
You know, being completely honest, I think it was really a financial decision.
Yeah.
Because growing up, you know, just to let you know, I grew up in Lawton, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And nobody ever really was like, oh my goodness, you can be the next Bill Gates or anything like that. They were like, oh, you're really smart. Might want to look into engineering. You're good at math. And so when I was in high school, I looked into it. At the time, I was like, well, I want to work for Nike, so I can be an engineer for Nike.
Cool.
And then, you know, I went to school with credits already, so I'm like, cool, I'm gonna be an engineer. And started doing engineering. I realized probably my second sophomore semester or something like that, that I'm not really super interested in it because it didn't come naturally to me. I was used to everything come natural. But at school, even though I was an engineering student, I started getting involved in organizations. I started Nesby. I started, organization on campus as well. Then joined the fraternity. Like, all the different things that I was doing led me to then launch my entrepreneurial spirit from like doing t-shirts designs.
Oh my God,
designs,
I remember that.
Like doing all these different things like outside of engineering. So I would like struggle to do my engineering homework, but I'd be making the flyer for the organization I'm a part of. And so I think it really was like a financial decision. And then there was a time period my junior year where I was like, I'm about to switch my major to marketing because I think it was natural.
Yeah.
And they were like, bro, you're almost done. Why would you do that? And I was like, all right, I'm finished.
That is so crazy. I completely forgot that you used to make shirts because he made shirts for my line 1 year. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, you have lived many lives.
Many lives. We can talk about it. For sure.
Yeah, that's insane. So you kept going on the engineering track, graduated, and then you ended up in Houston. How did that come to be?
My senior year, technically. Well, yeah, junior year and a half, senior and a half. I did 5 years. But I got an internship with this company called Kiewit. They're like this large-scale oil and gas company. I got an internship. They took me to Houston during the summer. I felt like I was rich because they paid for my housing.
Right.
And I was making money for the first time. And so I did the internship. They actually brought me back, as a full-time employee. And so I came to Houston smack in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah, summer 2020, right?
Summer 2020. I came to Houston and was literally just in Houston.
Yeah.
But I started my career working oil and gas there.
Right. So what was that like? Were you remote with that company?
Yeah, so when I first started, I was fully remote. I got my first apartment, like all different things. And they were like, yeah, you're at home. So I spent like the whole first 6 months, almost a year, remote before they brought us back into office. I stayed at that company for like 2 years. And then I pivoted. I worked at Meta for a little bit.
I remember that, yeah.
And then, so I kind of got into tech, but this whole time I was doing like entrepreneurial stuff on the side. So.
You had an itch. So I feel like when COVID struck, like most people, it seems like you were definitely looking to find community.
Yeah.
I saw online that you talked a lot about the impact of coffee shops and what that had on you, experiencing it, people watching other people. Well, obviously people watching other people watching and seeing that other people were also looking for community, especially those that were working remote. Like, I feel like in hindsight, it sounds cool to work from home, but I feel like after a while, it's kind of like, let's go out and find these third spaces. And that kind of urge led you to kind of take a deep dive into Kahlab.
Yeah. So it all kind of comes together in a sense. So long story short, while I was doing, the engineering stuff, working corporate, I bought a camera. I started doing photography, videography, merging those with the skills that I had already with like the graphic design. So editing was like easy to me.
Right.
Started doing that. I started getting booked to go to different studios, and I went to New York one year. This year in particular, went to New York. From Lawton, Oklahoma, first time going to New York, I seen all the billboards, the lights, all that stuff like that. And I had this idea. I was like, oh my goodness, like I know how to do all the graphic design. I know how to do all the videos and the photography. Like, why don't I have a billboard?
Yes.
And I was like, either I'm scared or I'm not applying myself enough. And so I came back to Houston. I was like, I'm gonna open a studio. I'm gonna do something different. And I opened the studio. Like 4 months later, I had a 4,000 square feet building.
Yes.
And it was a creative co-working space, so it had a co-working area to where there was like a computer in there, so you can edit with all the programs and stuff to do work. Had a podcast section. It had like a natural light studio that was like venue type of thing. That was like 2,400 square feet, different rooms, and that was the hardest thing I ever did in my life.
Yes, I remember seeing your journey. Like, oh my gosh. So you talked a little bit about New York and seeing, Times Square, all the marketing and the billboards out there. What was that ding moment like for you? Like, did you feel nervous? Was it excitement? Did it bring you like calmness? Like, did you feel like, okay, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be?
So, when I went to New York, right, like I've only seen it on TV.
Yeah.
So
same.
imagine being 24, 25, and you've been seeing something on TV your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And then you finally get there, and my mind was just blown. But I realized it's a thing from people coming from small towns and going big towns or big cities. Like, I was like, bro, the blueprint is literally right here.
Yep.
Like, if I want to know how to make a good ad, all I got to do is look up, and
Yep.
that's a good ad.
Yep.
And so I just felt like an overwhelming sense of like opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
but then also like, man, it's right in front of me.
From 2020, when you moved to Houston, and then Kahlab was officially founded in 2025. It's 5 years of grinding, 5 years of different, the physical workspace that you created.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, especially on social media, get to see the highlights, the end results. What were the years like before 2025 when you officially founded Kahlab?
Yeah. Opening that studio, I thought that if I built it, people would just like show up. They're like, this is so amazing.
Right.
This guy built this thing. But there, I really had to learn how to draw people in, how to like market, how to make people interested. So it was really more like a learning ground. Everything became foundational because what I started to do was I started to host events at my spot to start drawing people in. So then that taught me how to like host events. That also showed me the different technologies that I would need to host events. I started a membership.
Yes.
That membership, I need to understand what people want to keep coming back to, and what people are interested in. But I think that year it took me from like being like ego driven of like, this is my studio,
right?
This is me, like I'm gonna make all this money, to like, oh my, how can I help you? How can I be of service? And so I think those 2 years was foundational for me to understand like how to be a servant to others. But it was the hardest thing I ever did in my life. Like, I'll never forget one day in particular. It was November 2024. Might have been November 2024. I had like a $4,000 I had to pay every single month. And
for the space.
For the space.
Oh Jesus.
Plus my like $2,000, $1,500 rent. So
yes.
I'm paying like $16,000 every single month.
Wait. Were you still in engineering at this time?
No, I was completely full-time entrepreneur.
Oh.
So at this point, every single day I'm waking up like, how can I make money? How can I make money?
Yeah.
And so I'm like on overload. And I just had a day where it was just like hard, like bills was due, like I had stuff I had to pay for, I had money to pay for it, like, and I'm like, God, please help me. And so I had like a moment where I was like, this is so hard. I never forget. I was doing a Friendsgiving event where I was like setting the studio up, Thanksgiving style, going to do like a dinner, people paid tickets, all different things. And what ended up happening was a week before the dinner, nobody bought tickets, and in my mind this dinner was going to pay the rent.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, God, like, help me, I don't know what to do, nobody's buying tickets.
Yes.
And it was 10 o'clock at night, and I was like, all right, God, like, I give up. I think I'm done. But before I do it, I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna post a video, and if this video worked, show me, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If not, then like, I'm just done. I posted this video, like being like, this is my last video, I'm gonna post about it. And I posted a video on TikTok and it ended up going like viral. And I posted like 10 o'clock and I ended up going viral. So everybody's, oh my goodness, this is so cool. How did I not know about it? And then, some people bought tickets and stuff like that, so that helped. And I posted like another video and it went viral. And I was like, oh my goodness, like, cool. But at that point, so now I got all this attention and people are like, I want to come to the studio. I'm so interested. And
that's amazing.
It's like the highs and lows of entrepreneurs. So I'm trying to walk you through it. And so now you went from being very low to like, oh my goodness, a high, everybody's interested. Then I had one day where I had like 10 people come by for a tour just to look at it. And so I'm thinking like, I'm about to make some money. Like, people want person membership, they're gonna book it. And everybody kept saying, oh my goodness, I love it, but I wish you had this. Oh my goodness, I love it. I'm gonna start my podcast in 2 months. And so it wasn't anything immediate. And I just was like, bro, I'm done. I quit. And then that's when the first idea of Kahlab, like a tech product, was born. Where it was like, well, if they don't want my space, but I know that they want space, how can I create a tech product where they could pay one membership and then access all the different spaces?
I don't know if the moment before your first viral video would be considered your biggest failure, or like moment where you thought you might walk away. If that is, you don't have to answer that. But also, like, in this journey of Kahlab and going from a physical space to creating an app, what has been like your biggest success? Was it like an event you hosted?
I think my biggest success, and this is something we can talk about, like, I think I'm living in my biggest success right now.
Yay!
So
what does that mean? What does that look like for you?
We found a way to genuinely like help people and make their life easier, and we're seeing that it's repeatable, and being able to just see the way people are reacting to it, being able to see the growth, also the different doors that are opening from just like pivoting and just letting go and letting God, has been amazing.
Yeah.
Like, so I think every single day you wake up, you're actually living in an answered prayer. It's just all about perspective.
Speaking of the growth and the expansion part, when I went on the website last night, it wasn't just Houston listed.
Yeah.
You're in different cities now. That's major. Where can people, like, what cities are you at? And how did you even expand to these places? Was it like calling up all these other, third spaces in Austin and Dallas and being like, do you want to get on?
When we first started last year, it was all about the physical space. But we pivoted this year, literally just this year, to where we provide infrastructure for membership organizations, social clubs, different things like that, to basically host their events, manage their memberships, communicate, talk with their people, get discovered, and also make money all in one place. And so that pivot now allowed us to not focus on the space, but focus on like the host, the curator. And from there, we've put out our list of like the best social clubs in Houston, the best social clubs in Dallas. And we've been really able to like, one, shine a light on other people, and also provide the tools and infrastructure they need to like grow.
Yes. So I know that we've talked a lot about pivoting. Even though you had to change the original idea, do you still feel like Kahlab became what you were genuinely wanting? Like, did the vision to reality align to where you still feel proud, or you still feel like your initial thought back in New York was manifested?
So I would say I think I did it backwards, but at the same time, I think it needed to be that way. So now it makes what I'm doing now so much easier, because what I realized was the first thing was physical space, but I didn't have all the capital in the world, so I still did it anyway. Unaware of like how much money it really costed to do it the highest caliber that I wanted to. But then in the physical space, I learned if you have a space, you have to bring people in, you have to host membership, you have to communicate, so you have to do all these different things. That as I started working backwards, it led me to where I'm at now, to where now it's like, oh, I need to put this with this, connect with this, and it's all in one system. It's so much easier. But the only reason why I have that insight was because I started at a different part. And so, I think it actually, 2 years ago, the first idea for a tech product was this. But I didn't have the technical ability to do it.
Wow.
And so then I started with spaces because it was easier. And I built that in like 2 days with like chat. Wow. And so this version is like, I have like a team. I'm a co-founder who's amazing on the tech side too. It's like everything all aligns for exactly where I'm at right now.
Yes. It's so crazy how sometimes like the lesson, like you said, gives you like the big bold idea, and it's almost like once you get it, then you have to like not be humble, but like the challenges that you experience when you had the end goal in mind brings you back to like the beginning, the foundation. And it's like, obviously in hindsight, dang God, why didn't you just give me the idea of creating the app? But like it prepared you for where you are now. So I think that's amazing.
It's like he gave me the idea, but I didn't have the insight to make the idea amazing. Now I have the insight and the inside information, so now I can make it amazing because I have something that literally nobody else has. Like, how many people do you know like had a physical location, hosted events in different cities, then do the tech product, going around to random co-working spaces and studios, talking to the owner, like, hey, can you sign up for my app? Like, all these different things led me to where I'm at now. Even the, having a marketing agency, doing photography and videography, learning graphic design in college.
Yes.
You even said earlier, you were like, oh, you have this aesthetic that you have, this feel, look. The only reason why I'm able to do it so easy now was because in college I spent my time doing graphic design.
Yes.
So this is like 10
it's
years.
All connected.
This is like 10 years of graphic design that you're seeing.
Yes. And that's the crazy part. I think that I want young people to know, especially those that, are seniors in high school or are in college right now, like, you can still use the things that you used in college without feeling scared that you're going to be tied down to a major and then a life that you you can't see yourself living in 5 years. Like, honestly, me and Kahlil are both testaments to that because, I started off in journalism, I made the pivot. He started off in engineering, he made the pivot. But the things that you learn in college, you can apply to, like, if you just really apply yourself, you can use what you learn in college in any industry, in any way, to your advantage.
Like any industry, even like engineering. I think like an engineer. So I can problem solve. I can think in systems. I can think from first principles in a way that most creative people can.
Yeah.
But I hone my creative skills while being technically trained to think like X's and O's, numbers 1, 2, 3, So it's like I have this analytical side of me that was like trained professionally, and I have this creative side of me that grew like out of just pure passion.
Yeah. I saw you recently went back to OSU, or there was an article written about you from OSU. What was that like, being able to like go back into like what college Kahlil and like being able to give advice to like other young little Kahlils out there?
I didn't, I haven't really seen, when I was growing up, I didn't see anybody that looked like me, talked like me, bold enough to do the things that I want to do. So I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
That even that seed that I planted in college, creating that organization, like Mel Initiative, creating organizations to help African Americans and minorities like succeed in college. It was a seed then that like we were just doing stuff.
Yeah.
And now seeing that like 10 years later, this organization is still alive. It still has execs, people like that was so cool.
That's amazing.
Being able to like pour back in them and still have that common touch of like, bro, I'm just like you. I have tattoos. Like, I just know how to turn it on and turn it off. So I think that was amazing. And then OSU creating an article about like my journey and like the tech product. I think that was super cool because I don't know too many Black people that have articles about them at a PWI.
No, for real.
So I think that's awesome. The things I'm learning in life now is how to be present in the moment. And like really get off my head. That's so cool.
Yeah. I definitely want to kind of go back to what you said earlier about the power of social media. So I know that even though it's been like forever and a day since I've seen you in person, I feel like I've followed along with your journey. Was it ever hard for you to share those like early stages of your entrepreneurial journey?
Growing up, I was like a Twitter guy.
Oh so, no, not Black Twitter.
I was.
What was you saying? We're not bringing that up.
That's for the after dark. But no, like, so I think I've always been like a social media, like I understood, like even like on Tumblr and stuff like that. But sharing my journey and sharing what I was going through, it wasn't that hard because at the end of the day, I look at it like a documentary.
That's true.
Like, I'm literally showing you what it's like to build something amazing. More people are more willing to also help you too when you're saying like, this is what I want to do. And that was more so practice for me because if you don't know me, I may be kind of reserved. And so that was my practice, getting comfortable talking on camera, getting comfortable like just expressing myself. I don't post as much now, but I do know that time was needed in order for me to just get comfortable and understand even how social media works. So.
Did you ever receive like a DM or a comment from someone who was in a similar circumstance as you, or like told you that your videos inspired them to keep pushing, or gave them an idea of like a different lane that maybe they didn't consider in this world of entrepreneurship?
Yeah, for sure. That happens, a lot with people getting me and be like, this is so inspiring, like, don't ever stop and stuff like that. So I think those things help with keeping you moving forward.
Yeah.
But that's how I know that I'm on the right path. I think my purpose in life is just spread the good news, spread the good word, but also shine my light as bright as possible, so that way other people can catch a little bit of that and open their next door, and shine their light brighter. So if you can't see it, you can't do it. And so as much as I can show what I'm able to do, that'll open the door for other people. I'm sure there's some people that started a space. They're like, oh, I can start a space. I know somebody can start a space.
Right.
Or, oh, I can do graphics or t-shirts. Because I've seen somebody else do it, or even tech. Like, that's supposed to happen.
Yeah, and now it's like going back to your journey in Lawton, like, now, God willing, like, whenever there's another smart little black kid, they don't always have to push them to engineering or med school. They can be like, oh my gosh, like, I used to teach this man, and he's now, like, this huge entrepreneur. Like, you just open the doors for a lot of people, so I think that's really cool. If anyone has ever asked you, like, what's the biggest lesson you've learned about entrepreneurship? Because I feel like it's romanticized, like, oh yeah, you get to be the boss of you, but then it's also like, well, you never really have a day off when you're an entrepreneur or when you're a business owner. So what's the biggest lesson you've learned?
So I think I'm gonna give you 2 lessons. The first lesson is entrepreneurship is not about you. It is all about value, giving value to others. How can you help people? It's the most selfless thing you can do. I'm not looking at a situation where I'm like, this is what I can do, this is how much I can gain.
Yeah.
It's more so like, how can I make your life easier? How can I make your life better? How can I add value to you? That is the biggest lesson that I've learned. And then number 2 is fast is slow, slow is fast. And so it's a thing where I used to move so fast, like always be busy, always doing this.
Right.
And just trying to get fast. That speed is good, but then being able to like slow down and make the right decisions is like so impactful. And it's almost like when you're playing sports. When you first start playing sports, the game is moving so fast. But then once you're in it a little bit, it slows down. You can read the play, like you can understand it and see it. And so the second lesson is fast is slow, slow is fast, and good things take time.
Yeah. Has it affected other aspects of your life? Like, did you have seasons where you like didn't hang out with friends as much? Did it impact your dating life at all? Like, what were the sacrifices like?
Yeah, so I think there are sacrifices with like, I don't hang around with my friends as much. Because if you're not on the same wavelength or frequency that I'm on, it kind of is like uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
I'm very quiet. If I'm quiet, it might be because I don't want to talk about the things you want to talk
about. For real, yes.
So I think that's one. So became more reserved because like, all right, every day I have purpose, I have a mission, I have like, I have to do this, I have to do this next. Like, so there's a difference there. And then number 2, I would say dating life. Early on with entrepreneurship, I was very like fully focused. Like the first thing I thought about business. This is the last thing. So even dating and stuff like that, I wasn't able to be like, oh my goodness, like I should put some time, energy, effort towards this person. So as I started matriculating to entrepreneurship, I started to understand about like personal life, self-care, journaling, all these different things. So I think it just changed me as a person, making me more like zen and all stuff like that. And now it forces you to kind of grow up mentally, so then you're more aware of like what it is that can help you. So romantically, I know what type of partner I would look for now, because they have to be able to help me get to my mission. And their mission in life should align with my mission. Like all these different things just make you more serious about life and more intentional. So I think that's what entrepreneurship did for me, made me more intentional.
So are you looking for like someone to support Kahlab, or just someone who's also kind of like aligned and like they're putting themselves first, you're putting yourself first, and together when you guys like, at the end of the day, at the end of the workday, you guys can come together?
Yeah, I think it's all, everything's a give and take, right? So at the end of the day, I should make them better, and they should make me better. So areas where I'm lacking, they should be really strong at that, and areas where they're lacking, I should be really strong at that. Like,
it's never always 50-50 or 100-100.
So I think that's the thing. Like, for instance, I know I'm the most optimistic person you probably meet, probably the most calmest person you ever meet.
Yes.
And so that's something where it's like if my partner is a little bit more like, oh my goodness, frazzled, they'll talk to me and I'll be like, it's okay.
That is so true.
How can we figure this out? You know, but there's areas where I'm going to bring value and they have to bring value to me. So.
That's true. So I know you kind of hit on this earlier, where you felt like you made it, or like you're at that point where you're living in answered prayer after years of hard work and reroutes and U-turns and reverse unos and draw fours. What did that moment feel like for you, if you feel like you're there, like you had that I made it moment?
Well, the thing is, though, I don't have like I made it tangibly, right? But I have a I made it in the sense of I'm able to be present and be aware of how many blessings I have around me.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Like, I think that's the I made it, is like, I have family that's still alive and love me. I have loved ones I can call. I eat food every day. I have a roof over my head.
The bills are paid.
I'm sane.
Yes.
I made it. That's what I mean by that. But then there's so many opportunities that are in front of me, and like every day I wake up, more opportunity. I'm living in abundance.
Yes.
And so that's what I mean by that. Like tangibly, I don't have all the things that, in my head, I'm like, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to have. But internal power, I'm the most confident I've ever been. I know I speak life in everything that I do. I'm super positive. I love God. Like, locked in. Like, that's what I mean by that. So
and that's good
all
though.
Internal.
I feel like that's like exactly what it feels like to be at that point of like true alignment. Because when you're worried and you're anxious, like your mind is chaotic, your environment is chaotic, and I feel like sometimes that's why, like you said earlier, like gratitude is such a big thing, like being present. Because if you're not present in the answered prayer that you're living right now, you won't even get to experience or even be aware that like you are living in answered prayer. Yes, like
you'll miss it.
I remember when I wanted to relaunch this podcast, like I was like, I had it in college. It was a different name and everything. And I knew that I wanted to relaunch it and have a different name. And I couldn't figure out what I wanted it to be, where I wanted to go. I literally like went to get a massage that my aunt booked for me. And like within like 2 seconds of being like, well, okay, that's a boost. Like within the first 5 minutes of like me being in that space, like my mind was completely like just empty. And it just came to me, like God literally just came to me and was like, Society says. And then like all these different episode ideas came to me in that moment, and it was crazy. But that was just a moment of stillness.
So what you see now, this tech product that we built, we almost got over 1,000 people using it, made some money through it. We got into different programs because of this. It came in February this year, and so
birthday month.
And that happened only because I went to Oklahoma for a month to house sit my sister's house. So I've been hustling for 6 years in Houston on the grind. And my sister stays in Yukon, Oklahoma. She's like, you can stay in my house for a month. I stayed there. I woke up every single day, made myself an espresso. I journaled. She has a hot tub in the back. So I was just sitting in the hot tub, and my mind was just like, I went from running to just like slowing down. And there I was just like praying like, God, I'm trust you, I'm gonna just relax, let go. And then this is when the product we have now came to mind and was like, all right, if you're gonna do entrepreneurship, you're gonna really do it. And here's the blueprint of how it should look, how it should feel. So all of that came in February. And then fast forward, a month or two later, it was in real life. Fast forward a month or two later, we show people. Fast forward a month or two later, there's someone every single day using it. Like, but it all came from that moment of like stillness and just being like, you know what, I surrender. I'm gonna just let go, and I trust that you give me the skills, the ability, the resources, the people to be okay.
So research says that 80% of Black-owned businesses fail within like the first 12 to 18 months. I don't know if it's because of lack of like knowledge.
I think a part of it is the lack of knowledge and resources to how to steward like capital.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, early on, my first time having let's say $20,000 in my account, and it's like, this is what you can do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So of course I may not spend it the best way, or I may not know how to. So it was like lack of knowledge, but then also like you got to figure it out. So that trial and effort was my learning period, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then also there's a thing called runway, and certain companies that have been able to fundraise with investors or friends and family, they may have 12 months of runway
Mm-hmm.
in order to figure out the business.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're starting off with barely any money and you don't have a rich uncle, you may start off with 2 months of runway, and everything else after that is fight or flight.
Right.
And so my fight or flight moment was in the first 2 months of starting my business. And so that whole 2 years of having the physical space is like fighting the uphill battle, like scrapping, finding, like in survival mode, to where it's like that made me stronger,
Mm-hmm.
and that gave me knowledge more quickly than somebody who might have had 2 years to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
What took me a month to figure out might have taken them 4 months,
Mm-hmm.
because they had the luxury to take their time doing it.
Yeah.
So it's like a gift and a curse. But once I think one generation, or one person in the lineage figures it out, it's a lot easier to pass that on. And then now I know that if I have a son or a daughter and they're like, hey, I want to be an entrepreneur, I can say, okay, cool, here's, luckily, I want to be able to, of course, be like, hey, here's $50,000, go try it.
I am daughter. I need $50,000, Kahlil. Would you say that you're still in that 12 to 18 period, or do you feel like you've crossed that threshold? Because I feel like there's a lot of different timelines.
Yeah, there's a lot of different timelines, right? So the physical location was 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
The first version of the tech product was a completely different business,
Mm-hmm.
but it was 6 months, 7 months,
Okay.
and now we're on another 6 months. But another 6 months, but it's a completely different business.
Mm-hmm.
So I just pivoted. It's all leading towards the same thing, but even like you look at Slack.
Yeah.
Slack started as a video game company. They built the internal tool called Slack because they ran out of money and the business wasn't working, but they built this internal tool for Slack, and then they're like, okay, cool, we're going to make this the product.
Right.
So sometimes the real thing isn't the first initial idea.
Mm-hmm.
The real thing is what comes because you pursue something.
Yeah. You started physical space, looking for community, as most of us were doing during COVID. Do you feel like you've created it, and what does community mean to you now in 2026?
Yeah, for sure. I think community is having people that you can bounce ideas off of,
Mm-hmm.
having people that will check on you, having people that y'all are common in some type of way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I found community amongst founders. I found community amongst, friends from college that we may not talk about business, but we talk about other life stuff. Like overall, I try to create community every single day, from like connecting somebody to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Just letting you know that you're not alone and you're part of a bigger ecosystem.
Yes, I love that. Okay, so what is next for Kahlab? I know the new launch was just this year, but what can people expect, or maybe what's up that sleeve of yours?
Yeah, so, the overall vision is to create a global network of people and communities. So everywhere you go, you can open your phone, you can find a community to join, plug into a network and meet somebody new. To where everywhere you go, it's like you're one person away. Like that's the ultimate goal, is to always be one event away, one person away from your next level. So this year, the plan is to continue expanding that. Dallas, Austin, Atlanta, Chicago, like all these different things that we want to do, is be able to plant this seed and help 1,000 organizations, help 1,000 communities that they make money. I want to help 1,000 people make $1,000. That's the goal of it.
I love that, the trickle down effect. Amen. Okay, so where can people find you, Kahlil, and where can people support Kahlab, book Kahlab, get their business on Kahlab, whatever it takes?
So join KAHLAB on pretty much everything. So join Kahlab on Instagram, TikTok, join Kahlab.com. You can find me at Kahlil B Martin, so KAHLIL B Martin on all platforms.
Kahlil, you were amazing. Thank you so much again.
This was amazing. I do want to say this.
Yes.
You know, this is something I've been really adamant about, is that life meets you at the level of belief you have. Mm-hmm. So whatever you believe you are, that's where you are. And so our goal in life is to continue to strengthen the power of our belief and to get to a point where we know something is possible. And once you know it's possible, you believe it's possible, that faith kicks in and the door is open.
Mustard seed.
So shout out to you for your podcast.
Thank you.
And I'm so excited to see your continued success.
Oh my God.
And see everybody watching Society Says.
Thank you.
And to see you be a household name. So
thank
congratulations
you.
in advance.
Oh my gosh, thank you. No, you definitely inspire me, Kahlil. Like, I need to get my ass up and grind it out by any means necessary, because, you know, now you are just so successful and you've built such a great name for you, and like it wouldn't have happened if you didn't put in those 10,000 hours. So I'm inspired. We will see you guys in the next one. Bye.